brutally attacked by a trusted friend. But by some miracle, they survived. This is Kimberlee. Kimberlee's 26. According to medical professionals, Kimberlee should not be alive right now. You see, Kimberlee was a beautiful, aspiring model when she was brutally attacked and left for dead by a trusted friend named Carlos Thomas. With the support of family and friends, Kimberlee was well on her way to becoming a model and an actress. Longtime friend and neighbor Carlos was no exception, as they shared a close friendship. Unfortunately, Kim's dreams would be shattered by the man she thought was one of her greatest fans. One day, Kim stayed home from work because she wasn't feeling well. And when Carlos stopped by, Kim didn't think twice about letting him in, as she had done so many times before. Without warning, he suddenly grabbed her by the neck and dragged her into the bedroom, where he brutally raped her. Carlos then began smothering her with pillows while choking the life from her, squeezing harder and harder as she tried to escape. Kimberlee lost consciousness as her attacker hovered over her, asking her how she would like to die. Kim awoke to her skin burning and a knife sticking from her side. Carlos had stabbed her multiple times, strangled her with telephone cord, and poured bleach on her skin, allegedly to remove his fingerprints. Bleeding and in pain, Kimberlee begged for her life. As Carlos left the apartment, Kim was finally able to call the authorities. Paramedics immediately began helping Kimberlee, her body clinging to life, but assuming she would die from such a vicious attack. In an instant, Kimberlee's life was changed by a man who she thought was her friend. Kimberlee's dreams were crushed, leaving her scarred and searching for answers. Even with Carlos in prison, there are some questions that Kimberlee may never be able to answer. You okay looking at that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
It's just a recreation that we did. Just brings back all the agonizing memories.
Yeah.
What do you want to know from this guy?
I want to know why.
He's in prison, and he never said why?
He kept telling me, oh, you know why. But, I mean, I don't know. We was like best friends. He called me his little sister, and I called him my big brother, and I have absolutely no idea why he would do this to me. Came down my house and just attacked me, and this is every day. We're best friends, so I didn't think anything
And how
of it.
long were you friendly? Was it a year? Was it?
No, like 3 years.
3 years? You basically saved your own life.
Carlos and I, we were having a conversation after he did this to me.
You had a conversation? What were you talking about?
He was apologizing to me, saying he was sorry. He didn't mean to do this to me. I'm like a little sister to him, and I'm like, well, why are you doing this? He like, shut up, you know why. And I told him if he let me live, I promise I would not tell on him. And he was like, well, how do I know I can trust you? I was like, if you let me live, no one's going to believe you did it anyway. He said, well, okay, let me take your TV and VCR to make it appear as if someone broke into your house. So he crossed over me. He started unhooking my TV and VCR, and I looked down and I saw the knife in my side, and I was trying to put it out. He was like, leave it in there. I'm going to get help. And so he crossed over me. He went out the door, and I got up, and I had like a long mirror on my bedroom door, and I looked in the mirror, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. He had telephone cords around my neck, and he had a sheet. I took that loose, opened my closet door, put on clothes, and struggled down the hallway. Locked the door he went out of, and by the time I was going out the back door, he had kicked the door back in with help because I had locked the door. And when I went outside, I was just stumbling. I had absolutely no idea where I was going to go. And this lady was walking past, and she said, Kim, is that you? And I was like, help me, help me. She said, who did this? And I was like, Carlos did this. And she took me 2 doors down, and they called the paramedics. And he came in, sat right beside me.
While the paramedics were there?
Rubbing my head, saying, who did this to you? And
Was the police come right away and arrest him?
because he had like blood and bleach all over him.
He didn't put up any fight?
No.
And you were right there when he was arrested? And how many years is he serving in prison?
15 without parole.
I got the feeling, Kimberlee, I get the feeling you, through all of this, you really had no idea how much damage had been done.
No. He stabbed me in my neck, in my side, punctured my lungs, bust my blood vessels in my eyes, and poured bleach all over my body.
And he says he poured bleach to cover his fingerprints, not to disfigure you.
No.
So let's talk about the injuries that aren't going to leave. We see this.
Second-degree burns, and it was like the worst time of my
Is
life.
it through other parts of your body?
All over.
All over.
All over.
But spared that beautiful face.
Thank God, to the grace of God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Do you think about modeling?
Oh, yes. I mean, even after this, I went to modeling school. So he really hasn't stopped anything. He only motivated me.
Isn't that great? So, were you able at any time in a lucid situation say anything to him?
After he pled guilty, I had the opportunity to get on the stand, and I asked him why. And he was looking at me, you know, smiling and making faces. And I was like, you know what? Everything you done to me, it's coming back on you. I was like, God spared my life for me to put your ass away for good.
Isn't that great? Well, that's something else. Thank you so much, Kimberlee. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you.